The AlgoLaser Pixi is my favorite mini laser engraver. I've made a video about it before, but not this exact model, so I'm going to show it to you again. This will be a relatively short video because I've already made content about the AlgoLaser Pixi, not just one, but several. I'll put a link up here so you can watch the original demo video, and there will also be recommendations at the end of this video. You'll find two more videos there about almost the same machine. But what do I mean by almost the same machine? Well, the thing is, the AlgoLaser Pixi is currently available in two versions, or rather four versions, because it comes in 3 watt, 5 watt, and 10 watt blue laser versions, plus this 1064 nanometer laser version, which was designed for engraving metals. Why is it the best? There are several reasons for this. One of the main reasons is the operating system it runs, which is called Algo OS. How surprising. And the Algos operating system allows us to set everything up on the machine through this display. And if we use it, we essentially have a full-fledged operating system. We get a program that's pretty much like the ones you can run on desktop PCs. In fact, since it's a touchscreen, we can, for example, move the pattern we want to engrave to the right place on the screen. So it can do a lot of things, and the most important thing about this operating system is that you don't need any external device to use the machine to its full potential. So you don't need an iOS or Android device, you don't need a desktop PC, and you don't need to use LightBurn or LaserGRBL software. You basically don't need anything because this machine can be used on its own. Of course, you can use those programs if you want to. There's a mobile app for it. You can use that too if you want, but it's not necessary. And I think that's very, very important, and perhaps one of the most important features of this machine. You unbox it, pick it up, put it on the table, copy the files you want to use, and use it just as it is in this state. The other big advantage of this machine is that, well, it's a bit like a transformer. And not because it has this flip-up visor, but because it eliminates one of the biggest drawbacks of these small machines. In other words, we can't just use it simply by putting in a workpiece, closing the lid, and engraving, but you can even put a rotary attachment under it. And I'll show you how they solved it. It's quite simple because there are screws here on the back of the machine. We find 4 screws on it. If we unscrew these screws, the top part can simply be lifted off. You screw the bolts into the other holes, and the machine becomes much taller than it was in its original state. In other words, larger objects can fit underneath it. For example, in the previous test, I put in a rotary for glasses and a beer can, and they fit in the machine too. So these are really, really great features. What else is really good? Well, it's that the machine is very easy to operate. I really like that it has a great work tray inside with centimeter markings. And these markings allow us to move the pattern we want to engrave to the right spot on the material using the display. So it's quite easy to set up this device. As I said, this machine doesn't use the usual blue laser diode setup, but a 1064 nanometer solution specifically designed for metals. And it's better than a standard blue laser because metals absorb this laser much more effectively. In other words, you can work with it much faster and much more accurately. But that's not all. It's also great that the focal point can be as small as 1/10 of a diode laser's, which essentially means you can engrave very fine, detailed graphics onto metals. Of course, I also tested this machine with the usual materials, aluminum, steel, and copper. And I even bought 3 rings from AliExpress to try engraving rings as well. Well, I'd rather not show you how this one turned out. It was my fault. I messed it up. So here's what I've learned so far. The black ring was actually quite easy to engrave. Now, as for how the pattern turned out, you'd better not look at that. I won't even show it. The point is, you can engrave on this, no problem, but I couldn't engrave on this shiny steel or this bronze, so I'll have to find another solution for those. However, I bought some steel, copper, and aluminum for testing, 10 by 10 centimeter sheets, which are perfect for small machines like this. Interestingly, aluminum is the hardest metal to work with, even though you might think it's a softer material than steel or copper. And yet aluminum is the hardest to work with because it's shiny and doesn't have the same oxide layer as the other 2 sheets. And because of this, the quality of the graphics won't be what we expect. Also, the laser needs to be set stronger and the head slower. So it won't be perfect, but I'll show you. Well, I don't know how much was visible. The point is that in the article I wrote, I took a better shot, a picture of it. You can see there what this graphic is like. Well, it's not perfect. The next one I'll show you is the steel. This is a stainless steel sheet. On this, you can see that the graphic turned out perfectly fine. I think there's no problem with this at all. You can engrave absolutely photorealistic images onto steel. So with this method, you can basically decorate smaller metals, knives, and all sorts of other things, whatever you'd like. The third thing I tried was the copper plate. This is a red copper plate. Well, this one actually I think looks the best. So this red copper plate is the one that I think looks the best because it creates a bit of an exclusive or higher quality effect. In any case, I was able to engrave really cool, photorealistic, great looking graphics on this too. Overall, what I can say about this machine is that if you want to work with metals at home, then you definitely need to buy this because it will be perfect for it. If you like the machine, this one or the blue laser versions, you'll find the link under every video to where you can buy it. If I have a coupon, I'll provide that too. Also, regarding this machine, it's important to mention that the introductory promotion is currently ongoing. The video is being made on January 20th. The promotion lasts until the 23rd, and during this time you can buy it at an introductory price. The link is in the video description. If you like this video, then check out one of the other 2 videos appearing here. Subscribe to my channel, comment on the video because the algorithm loves that, and come back because I'll be back soon with more tests. Until then, be good. Bye everyone, and don't freeze.